This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. Guys, if anything, please unmute and tell me the fact, guys, because
Yes,
on the
it's
flow I
visible
can
now.
miss. Yeah, okay, fine. Thanks, Chandana. Okay, so yesterday we discussed on the life cycle of ETL, right? So for each phase, if it is extract, what is the entry criteria and exit criteria, what is required and what is the goal. So for transformation, what's the entry and exit, and load, what is the entry and exit. So if you take extract, it's not like a single flow, simply we are taking the data and simply loading into the target table. That's the only thing not happen. Okay, we have some more things. Simply copying the data from source to target will not complete ETL. Actually, we are bringing the data into our medium. Okay, since we are implementing our ETL architecture, we are bringing all the data from source to our target system. In the target system, we will do the manipulation, that's called transformation, and we will load into the data warehouse. Okay, getting? So for this process of extract itself, we need process maps, routes, these things and all. We need maps. Usually we don't need, because simply we are making a copy and pasting it into a database. So now just think, just visualize. So how the real-time project scenario I'm going to explain after this course is like, so this is a simple data I brought up, but at real time I will brought some 20-30 tables. Okay, then only I can explain effectively. 20-30 tables I'm going to bring. Okay, then with that data, everything we have to do analysis. What is the similarity between these two tables? Okay, between the 20 tables, what is the similarity and how we can join? What's the reporting requirement? As end-to-end flow, we are going to discuss. Okay, so first, if you say extract, I have the data in Excel. Okay, I'm going to implement my ETL architecture. First, I have sample data in Excel file, and I'm doing my ETL architecture in Azure and SQL, MySQL SQL Server. So I'll suggest everyone to install SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio in your system. If anybody need any support on installing or some direction on installing, I will bring up with next class or after two classes. Okay, so first we have to create a table, we have to create a structure in our system, because I'm going to load this data into the database. Correct? Please answer.
Ah, yes.
Understanding, right? So from the Excel, I'm going to put all the data into the system, because in Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, I'm going to implement my ETL architecture. So before loading the data to the target system, I have to create a table, a metadata, right? If you see sales order, order date, sales order is a table name, order date, region, rep, item, units, unit cost, total. These data I have to analyze, because then only I can create effective data. So order date must be the date field, right? Date, it is a date value, and region, rep, item, these three are a kind of a text field, string field. So I can set up a varchar data type. These things, these SQL queries I will teach you in next session, in next chapter. Okay, here I will show you like some overview. And if you see units, unit cost, total are all are numeric value, with if you see floating, and units may be number, or it can be like 95, a word 95. So I set it up varchar to accommodate both type of data. Okay, unit cost and flow total I set as floating data type. Floating means it will allow decimal, or either you can set it as decimal. So first I have created my table. Okay, now I can see, simply I'm running this query, the table is created, I'm searching the table. there is no data, correct? After this, as we discussed yesterday, the ETL lifecycle and flow, what's the next thing do I need to work on to load this data into the table in target system? Anybody having any guesses? What is the next thing do I need to perform? Yes, Jaya?
Transformation.
No, not exactly transformation. I have to load the data to the target system, correct? From the source,
Uh,
since I have source. So for loading the
yes, yes.
data to the target system, what do we need to do?
You will create a pipeline?
Yes, exactly, Rashmi. Good. I have to create a pipeline, right? That will comes under the process and routes. Okay, I have to create a pipeline and I have to tell the pipeline what to fetch, where to fetch. Suppose I'm creating the pipeline. For the pipeline I'm instructing, go over the path in the system, like desktop and trainings, ETL testing, and sample data. Inside the sample data, what is the file name? July 30th 2025. Sample data July 30th 2025. I'm suggesting the pipeline by writing a sequence of statements. Okay, otherwise setting up the checkboxes. I'm selecting this file. Okay, after selecting that file, I have to do necessary thing. Like what I have to do? Anybody guesses? Any guessing? So source I set in a pipeline. For a pipeline, let's say this is a pipeline. What and all the detail may need? Source, it's a location. What is a location? So please fetch the file in this location. Likewise, the next thing, what do you expect? Any guesses? It's straightforward. Yeah, somebody unmuted.
Maybe
Rashmi.
extract the data
Yeah,
from,
for
like,
extracting the data
huh.
only, I gave source. From source,
Yes.
it will extract. But after
Hmm.
extracting, to do the transformation, we have to set the target,
Logic.
right?
Target.
Target,
Hmm.
right? So here our target will be Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is only extract phase, not transform or load phase. Load will be associated with our data warehouse, which is the final step before the BI. Okay, before the reporting, the final step will be load, and transform is an intermediate step. Once the data is in our hand, simply I'm getting something from a shop that has to come, actually with the example of chips, okay, or like a paneer. I'm getting paneer from the shop. Okay, now I'm paying the money I'm getting from the shop. This is what extraction. Okay, then transformation is what, like uh, I'm wrapping it out and cutting it to pieces, then cooking it. This is what called a transformation. Then the recipe is ready, then I'm serving it to the people. That's what called load. Okay, using that they will do the analytics. Simply they are providing the feedback, no? Or the customer is asking for paneer butter masala or palak paneer, like that they are asking. So that's the load process. So here simply we are dealing with extract. Now we need the target. Is what's the target I told?
SQL
Yeah, it's my
management. Yeah.
Microsoft SQL Server Studio.
Hmm.
SQL Server. And what is the location here? Already I've created sales order table. So this is my target. Okay. And likewise steps, how it should be fetched, and routes, these kind of detail I have to hard code in my pipeline. After hard coding the pipeline, I have to execute my pipeline. So what happens? The data from this Excel sheet is fetched. Okay, it will be fetched and it will be loaded into this system. Now what happened? I have the data in my area, which is in micromanage server SQL Server Management Studio. Now I can do the whatever I need. I can do with this data. Correct? So with this much clarity only, the real-time case study discussion going to happen. Okay. Likewise,
Can you come again, Haran? I am not getting actually. Like after source,
yeah.
uh,
So this is source file. Okay.
yeah.
This is source file. From the source, I have to load the data. There is a lot of
Oh,
that is
sorry, your
Sajjan,
voice is
Jaya. Yeah.
breaking.
Okay. Okay, Jaya. Is it fine now?
Yeah, now fine.
Okay. See, I was given with the source with this data. From customer, I'm receiving this sales order data. Can you please go on mute? I'm getting a lot of background noise. Jay, there is a lot of background noise. So I'll explain your question. After that, if you have any question, please unmute and ask. Okay. So this is what the data we received from the customer. I'm going to implement my ETL architecture with this data also, and I will provide it to the target system, which is my BI report for doing some analytics. So first step, I have to extract this data. I'm extracting with the help of some pipeline. So that's the pipeline for the pipelines. These are components of the pipelines. Okay, the source is nothing but I showed you the file, no, that file, sample data file. So I'm fetching that source file and target system. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. Target is my SQL Server Management Studio. Before everything, the prerequisite will be based on the data. Okay. This is the data. So I'm doing analysis on the data and I'm creating a table. Okay. I've created a table before loading data into the target. So the table typically empty because it is ready to load the data from source. Now I have source and target. So I'm setting value for some other components like steps, routes, these and all. I will explain you later. Once explained with other concepts. So once I'm ready with the pipeline, simply I'm triggering the pipeline to fetch the data from source Excel file, and it will load the data to the sales order table. Now I have the data in my SQL component, SQL Server Studio. From here, I can do an entire ETL process. So for doing the ETL process, we have so many other concepts also to be covered. I will tell you. Okay. Once we are done with the components with this much clarity, we are going to analyze the case study. I'm going to create a pipeline. I'll show you how to create a pipeline, and I will trigger the pipeline to load the data into the target system. Okay, once the data is loaded to the target, I'm going to create different layers, staging layer, raw layer, or enriched layer. From that, I'm going to create a view. Okay, I'm going to load the data to the view with the help of pipeline. After that, I'll try to visualize it also. If there is no feasibility for Power BI because it is a paid version, if there is possible, I'll try to fetch the data to Power BI. Otherwise, I will show with the free version what and all there. I'll show you the Power BI also. Okay. So our real-time case study at the end of ETL session is going to be like this. Anybody having any question regarding this? Guys, this is what are you expecting, Lavanya?
It's fine. No.
Yeah, this is how I'm going to cover my real-time project case study explanation, so you can understand well. So next, after this, so the today's content, we have end-to-end ETL lifecycle. We already discussed, right? We have source, like different source XML files, NoSQL database, SaaS platform. SaaS is like a software as a service. Okay, from different software, different platform, we can receive the data in SQL or DBMS. These and all the different source. From there, we are extracting and putting it to staging layer. This staging layer is what I showed you. No, this is what staging layer. Okay, then after the staging layer. It is moving to data warehouse by doing some transformations. Then it is going to analytics, either to the reports or advanced analytics. So this is what ETL lifecycle. Next, we are going to dig into deeply on extract phase alone. Okay, so here I told no extract. What are we going to extract? As Rashmi or someone told, no, it's data, right? So while extracting the data, what and all the different kinds of data we are going to fetch? Yesterday we saw structured, semi-structured, and unstructured, right? Somebody to tell what is semi-structured data.
In which data is structured, but there is no correlation between the sources, different type of sources.
Okay, okay, it is. May I know your name? Rashmi,
Rashmi.
right? Yeah, thanks, Rashmi. It's correct. Okay, what is unstructured data? Any idea, Lavanya or Ashok?
Basically, data that is not well organized. That's
Sorry,
unstructured.
it's not clear.
Basically, data that is not well organized, that is not structured correctly. Actually, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly. Okay, it won't follow pattern or it is not an organized one. It will be like a random data. Okay, fine. Now, this is a different kind of that one in terms of data alone. This is in terms of data source. Okay, did we receiving the data from multiple source or single source? Okay, like we can segregate it into two. One is homogeneous data source and heterogeneous data source. What is homogeneous data source? Okay, suppose for example, I have a source of Excel file with some 10 tables are there, or a database with 10 tables or 12 tables are there. So either I'm receiving only from database or only from Excel file. That's called homogeneous data source. If you see, different set of data can be extracted from a single data source. For example, if you see some local corporate banks, sorry, local banks, okay, let's say Pallavan Bank or some government municipality bank. If you see there and all, they will maintain one single database alone. In that single database itself, they will maintain customer details, loan details, and their employee details, pawn or mortgaging details, transaction details. Everything will be in that database alone. If suppose I am implementing any of the analytical function, or I want to do some analytics, okay, on the bank data, then simply I can take the data from single data source. Guys, getting? Anybody having any
Yes.
question?
Yeah, yeah, no
That's
problem.
Yes,
what
sir.
called homogeneous data source.
Yeah, got
Okay.
it.
Then the next one is heterogeneous data source. But in real time, if you see, it will be heterogeneous data source only we will receive. Okay. So heterogeneous data sources from different sources like Excel file or some Excel file database, XML files, JSON files, everything we are receiving. Suppose we can take the same banking with like some nationalized bank or international bank. So they will maintain loan details for all the employees or all the customers, right? They can be from India or they can be from foreign. For example, Axis Bank, okay, or income tax pays, okay. In each state, they will maintain different data source. If you go for Northeast, For income tax details itself, it was a paperized format. They will maintain in a paperized format. Okay, if you go north, they will maintain different database. So the format may vary. If I want to analyze income tax details at a centralized, okay, maybe at Delhi, they has to access all the data sources. So for that, what happened? They has to brought all the data in a single source. So at that time, they are dealing with heterogeneous data source. This is one of the data source. Okay, then we can see extraction. So everyone knows now extraction is getting the data. Okay, now what are all the extraction strategies? We have one strategy as full extraction. Suppose we have heterogeneous data source. Okay, we have some 10 data sources. If I want to do a full extraction, all the data from data source has to be uh, take and it should be loaded to the staging layer. You're getting? So full extraction is nothing but simply wipe out the target system and copy paste entire data. If suppose some 1 lakh data is there, all 1 lakh data will be loaded from the source. Okay. Suppose if it is maintained in a file format, suppose some 100 files are there, all 100 files are took from the source system and it will be loaded to our target system. Guys, getting? This is called full extraction. Next one is partial extraction with update notification. This is called delta load. Okay, I think somebody uh, asked about delta load recently in previous classes. So if you see the same example, okay, of sales order, I have the orders till July 30th. Okay, you see July 29 was set up yesterday. Let's consider there are orders till July 30th. So if you do full load, first 36 records will be loaded to the target system. You're getting? Guys, you're understanding the data? See order date and those details will be there here. Today, date is July 30th and time. Usually we will maintain time also 9:31 p.m. So now what happens will be if I trigger full load, okay, what and all the data there till current minute, current second. So 9:31 p.m. all are fetched and loaded into the target system, which is into the sales order. Okay, okay, so you're getting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is partial extraction, which is delta load? We will call it as a delta load with update notification. Update notification is nothing but so current now time is 9:32. So now some customer is making an order, okay, which is making an entry like 7:30 2025, which is on demand process. Yesterday I have explained you. Oh no, uh, you remember, guys? Now making an
Yes, sir.
entry. Yeah, that's what. So on demand, like I can name on demand pen. So 42 23 let's say 1000. Okay, so now I got an order, new order, just after 9:31 p.m. Now what happened, no, to identify this record alone, in our pipeline we will set some timer or some flag. If any new data comes, just run that job. That's called on demand job. Each 5 minute time period or 2 minutes time period, we can schedule it to run to fetch the new data. So this is new data. So what happens now, as part of full load, till 36 row number the data will be loaded. Okay, when it's a delta load, the 37th row alone will be loaded. Okay, this is called partial extraction or delta load with partial extraction with update notification or delta load. This is called the thing. Suppose I want to identify the fake orders, so I can say I can tell this as an or future dated orders. Okay, some at some criteria there is some future dated orders will be there. So I want to identify that alone. Now I am setting a condition, whichever whichever orders having order date as greater than current date current timestamp, which is July 30th 9:34 p.m. After July 30th 9:34 p.m. what and all the data is there I want to identify, and I want to do a separate load to a different table. Like for example, I'm creating one more table, sales orders future. Okay, let me add it as like future sales orders. Now I'm running this segment, the table is created. So future, so if you see table is created with empty. Now I want to identify and load the future orders alone. What I can set in the in my pipeline itself, I can set fetch the data whichever order date is greater than current timestamp. So the pipeline will fetch this records from 39 to 46. It will identify these records and it will load to this future sales order table. Guys, you are getting what is extraction? Any questions
Yes, yes. Mhm.
with
And
extraction?
after one question, like how will they identify like only this row they need to fetch as part of delta extraction?
Actually, as part of delta extraction, they don't do any identification. Okay,
Okay,
simply they will trigger like they will set it up uh, pipeline. Okay, just start timer. Okay, start timer and frequency. These are two components. First, what they will do, no, frequency they will set as 2 minutes. Okay, and start timer they will set it as 7, 30, 20, 25, 9:32 p.m. Okay, when by looking these data, the pipeline will keep on running 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes once it will keep on running. At that time, what happens? No, using this columns whichever loaded. Okay, we have the data, no. So using this six two six two four six seven, using 7 columns, we have one functionality, hashing function in SQL. Anybody heard about it?
yes, yes.
Yeah, using hashing function. So what it does, any idea what the hashing function will do?
Um,
It will create one encrypted key based on the columns. Okay,
okay,
it will it will create an encryption key. So
okay,
for
okay.
that encryption key, I'm going to supply all 7 columns. Okay, we have the syntax for that, like hash diff of concat the column names. While giving the column names, it will create some uh, different unique key like A, G, 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 B, 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 J, 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 like that. 128 by bit or 256 bit we can set. Okay, how many bit I want, how many digits I want, I can set for the encryption key. So using that encryption key, how that acts is like, so if suppose I have 42 pen, okay, pen in my order. If suppose there is one more entity with the space, okay, one record with pen, okay, suppose I'm just copying this to show. See, this the first one, 37th row, item pen will not have any space. 38 having space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the hash key for both the records will be generated as different ones. You're
Okay,
getting?
got it, got it. Now got it.
Both will be different keys. So what happens? No, it will generate hashing key, and based on also one time we set. So it will check. See the start timer. No, after 2 minutes, the time will increment it to 9:34. Once the job run ETL pipeline execution completed, then it will be incremented by 2 minutes. Likewise, it will keep on incrementing and it will run. So what happens? No, a condition will be set at the records with order date greater than the start timer. Clear?
Okay.
So if it is 9:34, now 9:39, greater than start timer, run the job. If there is any data order date with greater than start timer, fetch that record and do the insertion. Clear? Making it? Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
So
Got it.
this happens in
This
only
is
delta.
yeah. This is what happens with delta.
Okay.
The updated records to fetch with updated records. And
Hmm.
now what we can do now, so this partial extraction I explained, no, a particular set of data out of a large volume of data I want to fetch as like future order dates, future sales orders, okay, future data to sales orders I want to fetch. For that I have created as a prerequisite, I have created future sales order table. Then while creating the pipeline itself, I am setting up whichever orders are greater than current date alone, not date and timestamp. Those records you has to load in sales future sales orders. This is what you're called partial extraction without update notification. Any question, guys, as of now with extraction strategies? See, whatever I'm planning for each session is more, but I want to make you understanding. All 20 guys who have joined, right? We have yeah, 20 guys joined. All 20 has to understand. That's why I'm stressing this much. Even if you have any question, just please ask again and again also.
Sure.
Okay.
Sir,
So
this is like full load and incremental load, right? The same.
guys, please tell your name
Hello.
and
Yeah, this is Lavanya. So this
yeah,
full
yeah.
extraction, we can call it as a
Yeah,
initial
it's
load and partial
similar to
incremental.
initial load and incremental load only. But
Okay.
that will be from the load side. That's why
Hmm. Hmm.
after extraction, I went to load. Okay, not went to a transformation. In next slide, I'm going to explain that because both are a similar kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
next slide. With the next slide, now we are done with extraction, right? Everyone clear with the extraction, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So next, I'm loading it. We can see transformation on next slides. See in load, it is more likely you can sync it with extraction. Initial load, incremental load, full refresh. Okay, what's called full load? Initial load is like I'm loading the data from source to target. Now how my pipeline fetches will be based on initial load will be as of now. See, this is till 9:32, no? So 9:42, what and all the data is there? I'm loading into my target table, which is my sales order. And this is called initial load. And incremental load is uh, nothing but partial extraction, which is a delta load. We have different names. That's why I'm explaining from each terminology in terms of extraction load. Okay. Once you're done with this course, then you must be sure with all the terminologies also. So here initial load is equivalent to it's not like a full extraction. Yeah, it's a same like a full extraction, and delta load is equal to incremental load. What and all the new records coming, updated records coming, we are loading into the target system, and full refresh is something is like a safety feature. Suppose due to some technical error, all the data is gone. Okay, it's wiped out from the target system. Now, what happens now? I will run a full refresh. to load entire data into the target system. So this is called full refresh. Guys, clear with load, or somebody need any clarification with the load strategies?
No, fine.
Okay, fine.
Lavanya here. Sir,
Yeah,
actually,
Lam.
in my project also, I used to hear like DB refresh, DB refresh. So, is it
Mhm.
same that full refresh and DB refresh?
No, no, no. Actually, DB refresh is like a delta load. They don't do
Oh,
full load, full refresh. They don't do very often. Okay,
mm-hmm.
because there will
Mm-hmm.
be a lot of data loss with that. See, if suppose in source system it won't be constant, it will be changing.
Hmm.
Some update happening on day one, it won't be there at day two.
Okay.
Somebody updated it, then the previous data won't be there.
Hmm.
Full refresh will happen at a very critical case. Database refresh is like a delta load or incremental load.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The terminology I got
Yeah, yeah.
confused. Okay.
Yeah. No issues,
Thank
no
you.
issues. Yeah. So then, oops. Okay, so the next slide is transformation. Now, anybody having any idea what is transformation? Actual transformation is? Okay, we are making the data ready to load into the data warehouse based on the user requirement. That's the important thing. Okay,
Yeah.
but all the transformation are not as per the business requirements. The basic transformations you must do, that won't based on the user requirements or customer requirements. The advanced transformations only will be based on the customer end user requirements. So then what will be the basic transformations? On first day I told no data cleansing or enrichment, which is to clean the undesired data. Okay. See, for example, data cleansing, if you see, these two are these two are same data, correct, guys?
Yes, yes.
So what is the difference between these two data? We discussed, no?
I think there is a space in that
Yeah, there is a
item.
space in second line.
Yes.
But
Correct.
in real time, see, the system takes this as different data. But in real time, this is like same data only, right?
Correct. Same
But the
data.
hash
Correct.
key will be generated, a different hash key will be generated for each record. So what happens now, as part of data cleansing, I want to filter out, or I want to remove the space, and I want to remove the duplicate. So simply I have to write a code in the pipeline to trim this column. After that, I want to generate a hash key. Then I want to compare the hash key whether this is available. If you see both records are not having spaces, now the hash key will be same. So if there is a same hash key, then remove one of the record. Okay, this is what a simple example of data cleansing. With this, not only the removal of space, sometimes what happen no, while loading the data from source to target at semi-structured or unstructured files, it will be like in the data, sorry, in the database. Okay, it will be something will be loaded like this. It is due to some technical error while loading the data. Due to technical error, like this, special characters or some like that will be added in some columns. Now, once you loaded the data into the layer, that's why we are maintaining different layers. You want to analyze the data, and you want to that's what some data cleansing techniques or data quality checks will be there. So after that, you have to clean it. Okay, how the cleansing can be happened? Now I have the data in the table. Let's visualize. I have the data in the table. If I'm running this query, I can see first 36 records here. Now I have the Excel file. I need to compare both the data. Okay, actually this special characters will append in target only. So the special characters you will see see here. So you have source here. Now, how you can do the validation? Anybody can have any idea? How you can compare both the data? Simply, I can extract the data from this Excel sheet, sorry, in the database, and I can put into a different tab, okay, different tab, and I can write some formulas to compare the data. Guys, anybody don't know the formulas to compare the data? I will explain that too.
Okay.
Now,
Formula as in SQL queries only.
no, actually Excel formulas for comparing the data, comparing two records.
Okay, you mean column matching?
See, yeah, column matching. See, this is source. Let's consider. Okay, and this data is loaded to the Microsoft SQL server. From here, I am doing export and pasting it over here in the first column. Now I need to compare whether this source and target record is same. So what I can do, I can simply create a tab equal to exact. Okay, the same column in source, comma, same column in target. Now enter. This is true. Since the value is true, both are matching, so it is same. See, I can see some false also. Why? Order date B2, east and east, AB. Okay, since the column name is same, now I want to change this. Region. See, now it is true. Likewise, I have to frame the formulas. Here I can see true or false. False is data mismatching, true is data is matching. So this is what called while you are doing with all the data, you can't do everything with Excel sheet. We have other way also to do. Okay, you have source extract with you in hand. Okay, this time somebody could have raised the question like, if the data is less, we can do Excel comparison. If it is going beyond 1 million, we can't do with Excel, right? So at that time, we can use some Office DB. Okay, I'll show you that validation also as part of testing strategies. We can do some database, on-premises database to upload the Excel file and create a table. Using that one, we can do the validation. I will explain you deeply. Since we have only 8 minutes left, I will go to the next concept. Any doubt with this? With this transformation as our data cleansing?
No, fine.
Okay. The next one is filtering. Okay, filtering is nothing but whatever we need. Actually, suppose I want to generate the analytics data for past 5 years only. Okay, so I need only past 5 years data. I don't want. Suppose a company started 10 years ago. I want to analyze last 5 years sales trends alone. So I need to filter only last 5 years data for ETL architecture. So this is called filtering. Okay, all the data is moved to the system, to the target data lake or anything. Then I'm filtering a last 5 years data for doing ETL architecture to provide the data to the business requirements for analytics. This is what called filtering. And consolidation. Consolidation, the name itself, we can understand what is consolidation. Before going to the data warehouse, before finalizing the data to my data analytics or Power BI or BI reports, the data which is extracted from all sources, suppose some from Excel file, some from a database, some from XML, all data has to be consolidated and made into a same format. Okay, in a same table. Suppose I have data, future sales orders or sales orders I'm receiving from Excel file, also from XML file, also from JSON file, also from uh, different SQL developer, okay, Oracle SQL developer. Then all the records must be fetched and it should be loaded in the sales order table. That's what consolidation. Guys, you're getting what is consolidation? Anybody
Yes.
having any questions?
No.
No, okay. So the next thing is standardization. Standardization will be like we have the data, no? See, I'm looking at this data. I have order date, region, representative, and item, units, unit cost, total. These many columns I have. So I have to do a survey. So order date, it might be a date or date timestamp, correct? Guys?
Yes.
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 So this must hold only date or date timestamp. So I am setting the field as this while creating the table in the system to accommodate the data, either date or date timestamp. Okay, or date time. So what happens now? It will save date and time in the order whenever the data passes. Okay, if it is in a date format, which will allow inside.
Could you please
If
bring
it is
my charger?
if it is not in a date time format, then it will throw an error. Clear? It is for a string. If it is a varchar data type, that only will allow any kind of data. If suppose you have date, you can set this order date also as a varchar. It will allow. But the thing is like we have to do analysis and as part of our standardization, we must be specific what should be. Okay, so this is called standardization. These four are basic set of transformations we will do. Either the customer is providing the requirement or not, you don't need to worry. These kind of transformation definitely will happen. For this transformations, the first one, data cleansing, for this activity definitely the tester must help. Once he did the validation and then he has to confirm the data is clear or not. That's a tester responsibility. Okay, clear guys?
Yeah. Sir, so for this, we will get a requirement document, right? Requirement document like mapping document from the BAs. What
Actually,
needs to
for
be done?
basic set of transformations, in efficient way, they don't provide any requirements. Okay, because simply by looking it itself, you can identify. See, I'm seeing this table. I can see order date, region, represent item, units, unit cost, total. Actually, the same columns are there here also. Okay, there is no difference, right?
Mm,
So what happened now? Here, simple transformation happened. They didn't do anything. Whatever there in the Excel sheet, you are loading into the target. Target is nothing but here my this is what called a staging layer. Not exact target. This is a staging layer. Whatever there, I'm loading it here. So the load happened properly or not. That's what I have to confirm. For confirming, the tester is testing and he is providing approval like the data loaded properly or the data is not loaded properly. I can see some special characters or I can see some characters like space, enter keyword or some backspace keyword. These and all I can see. Please clean the data. We are providing some suggestion by doing the testing. You're getting clear? For this, we don't receive any mapping documents or any requirement since it is one-to-one movement. The mapping requirement will you will need whenever the advanced version of transformations done. See, we have in next slides with advanced transformation, joining, threshold validation check, and lookups or merge up data, complex data validations. In these cases, you will receive definitely the requirement. Without the requirement, you can't do. But basic transformations you can do right away by looking the data. Clear?
Yeah, like the constraints and all we have seen right in that SQL server.
Yeah.
So for that, whatever metadata needs to be there for the table and all,
Hmm.
will with that details will be available in the metadata mapping document somewhere.
Yeah, it will be there. Definitely, it will be there. So,
Okay.
how the requirement will be there? It's like first for a table, they will provide like what is the constraints. Suppose the column order date, it should not be a null. It should not allow null, or it should not be duplicate. Suppose order ID is there. Okay, I will add one more column here for better understanding. I have order ID. Okay, in order id it should not be null and it should not be duplicate. So these kind of constraints when we will do is like in a next layer, either enriched layer or where we are going to do the actual transformation, there only we will do those constraints and all. Here simply we are loading whatever there in the source, we are loading to the target, simple copy paste activity. So here we not at all do any even while creating the table itself, we can set it as a primary key. Like if we set primary key or primary, then it don't allow a null value. It don't have duplicate value. If there is a duplicate, it will trigger an error while loading the data itself. So this is what simple basic transformations. So we have advanced transformations and scenarios to load the data. Then we have some more things. I think we have now the time is 10. Can we see it on next class?
Yeah, we can
Okay,
keep it.
so now
Yes.
we are open to the questions. Whatever we are done with the class as of now. If any questions, you can go ahead, even with yesterday's class and today's class.
So quick question.
Yes,
So
Anjana.
the process that you would be doing, the practical thing
Mhm.
that you will be explaining as part of the data source to target validations and everything, we would be doing it at the same time, right? On our machines.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So for
that's
that,
why I'm telling.
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for that, this SQL Server Studio, I was trying to download it, but it is
Mhm.
asking us to register, and there are
Okay,
many options.
we
It
have
it
we
has.
have free versions, many free versions. Okay, I will
Mhm.
bring up with some slides for installation also. I'll show you how to
Okay.
do through my system.
Yes.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
spend
Yeah.
it will be around 5 minutes only. So
It's okay if you
uh,
have a document to share. That would be okay, which would be self-explanatory. It will save our time later in the next
okay,
session. Yeah.
I'll bring up with some document or day after
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Before we have start with the practical classes. I will
Yes.
make some okay
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
right from your systems, even for creating a pipelines. So that is for development perspective, but I will teach you to understand the system. Okay, guys.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Can I consider this as no question?
Yeah, right now we don't have any questions from my. I don't have.
Okay, Lavanya, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, then thanks, guys. We can.
Hello, Haran.
Yeah, Jaya.
Yeah, Haran, regarding delta exception,
Okay.
you had to we had set the timer, but till what update it will extract, it will depends on frequency, what we have given or what.
Jaya, I'm understanding your question, Jaya. There is a lot of
Hello.
background noises there.
Yeah, actually, I'm asking about delta extraction.
So in data exception, I told you now.
Yes, yes. You told like we for delta extraction, we set timer.
Yeah,
Like after this timer, it will fetch the data. Like it will extract the data.
yeah.
Till what? Like after like we have set the timer like greater than 9:32, it will extract it. But
Hmm.
up like till how much time it will extract the data? Whenever no notification update came or what?
Actually, we set the frequency for 2 minutes now.
Yes, yes. We had it set the frequency 2 minutes. But it means
In
it
the,
will fetch the data for 2 minutes only.
yeah, actually, like it
Okay.
will happen, it will run each 2 minutes. Okay, at the time to avoid the processing again and again, what it happens now? Suppose while I'm running the running the job, it will take. Actually, we don't define the start timer. It will be current date time for the first time. Okay, it will be like we have number one for the first time it runs. Okay, what is the current system date and timestamp it will take? Okay, then when this is the first time to since this is a I've designed as a tail, it is converting to tail. Okay, so this is first time. So what happens no, for the first time it will take current system date and timestamp. It will run the job to fetch, which will look at after the initial load. Okay, whether any of the orders whichever loaded after last 2 minutes, it will check like that. After that what happened no, it will increment each time 2, and second time what happened no, the current date timestamp, it will first time it set to 10:05 p.m. no, it will be stored over here 10:05 p.m. on July 30th. So once the job runs now, it will increment the number as 2 and this 10:05 as 7 p.m. Okay, so what happens now? We will have one more element like start pipeline run at 10:05 p.m. What it does? It will fetch the data from 10:03 to 10:05. At 10:07, whenever it starts 10:05 to 10:07, previous 2 minutes data will be fetched. You're getting?
Yes, yes, Arun.
This is what happens.
Okay,
This
okay.
is an
Thank
example.
you so much.
Data load can be can varied to different projects. In some projects they will set 1 hour once, okay, and 6 hour once, or even weekly also this will happen. That's based on the project requirement. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, follow-up question on Jaya's thing. So, for example, 1 hour one. So, first time the pipeline is running, so it's loading the data. If the data is very huge, so it may take 1.5 hour also. So, at that time, the second pipe, because we have set it up like 1 hour once it should run. So, in
Yeah,
that
yeah, right.
case, will it wait and then second run will start, or how that?
Yes. What happens in real world now? Actually, this kind of scenario will happen in non-cloud environment. Whenever we are using Informatica or Ab initio, these kind of issues happening. I saw. But in cloud environment, this won't happen.
Mhm.
Okay, first I will come to answer your question. Before that, I will tell. In cloud
Okay.
environment, we can set up the resources. Like I need 10 GB RAM for this job. Clear? And 100 GB space for this job. Suppose a pipeline is created. I'm allocating a cluster. That cluster will have huge resources like 10 GB RAM and 100 GB space. So it will run within a minute. But in a non-cloud platforms, whenever we are using non-cloud elements, we saw this kind of issue. At the time, what happened? No, suppose my first pipe, the same pipeline, the first run happened at 10 p.m. Okay, suppose I have some 1 million data which is taking around 1.5 hours to load the data. Now what happens now? Second time it is triggered, it will wait. Okay, it will wait till this load has to be completed. But while you are seeing, the status will be running in the UI API. While you are seeing, this is also running status, this is also running status. The job, this is first time, second time. Okay, likewise it is also running status. But if we see the actual processing through some Unix commands or some other uh, tools we have, while seeing at that, it will be like hold. Okay, once this is completed and this made as success, then only this will run. Otherwise, in the case
Queue?
if it is failed, let's say due to some error, if it is failed, what happens? No, either it has to be reach the status of success or fail, then only the next job will actually runs. Clear?
Non-cloud
Otherwise,
platforms, right? This will
non-cloud
happen.
platforms. Yeah. So by looking at
Okay.
the logs itself, in this case only, the developer intervention has to be there. By looking at the logs, why failed, and they has to correct the data. Then again, they has to redo the pipelines manually. Each pipeline they are creating, either it is scheduled or it's live streaming. All the jobs we can run manually. All pipelines we can run it manually. If it is failed, I have to see the logs and identify the issue. Then I have to trigger it again to fetch the same set of data by changing these parameters. From 10 p.m. only, I have to fetch the data. Clear? Is it answer
Yeah,
your
but
questions?
yeah. But that how the developers will come to know about the log? So will there be any email notification? Because
Yeah, definitely,
this is
definitely
non-cloud
we have.
platform, right? Will they check frequently log
Even in
tables and all?
non-cloud platform also, if you are triggering a job, okay, in a real-time environment, real-time project, if the job is success, then an email will be triggered. Like this job is success. These many count of records are found. These many duplicates are there. That's what we tell data quality checks, data quality controls. As part of each ETL implementation, some data quality controls also implemented to trigger a mail to tell whether the job is success or fail. If it is failed, due to why it is failed. If it is failed, there is a duplicate is there, that's why it is failed. These kind of informations will be there as part of mail. So by looking at the mail itself, developer comes to know this job is failed, I have to look into it. Okay. Otherwise, for the developer who has access, they will be provided with the API to monitor the jobs whichever running. Okay. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Does it answer your question, Lavanya?
Yeah. Follow-up question on this. So, is this the same pattern that was followed on cloud environment also? Because I can see the I column success and running, it's like a queue. If it is failed, yeah, we can see the log details in some audit or
Yeah,
log
this is
tables.
same across all environments. Even though it is a cloud, in
Okay.
cloud platform, this won't happen actually. Actually, if it is
Mm,
1 million also, it will run. It won't run for 1.5 hours. But there is a possibility of failure. The job may be failure due to some data quality issues. Okay.
mm-hmm.
At that time, they will have one component in Azure, data analytics. Okay, we have
Mm,
data analytics components. In that data analytics, whatever the jobs or whatever pipelines are running, we can see that data.
okay.
Okay, if it is failure, why it is failure. If it is success, how many
Okay.
are success, and how many minutes it executed. Whether it is how many
Okay.
records it processed. Suppose 10 minutes it processed 10,000 records. Then it is told like we can understand like in one hour it can process 1 lakh record, right?
Hmm.
So analyzing the source itself. If suppose there is a possibility of getting 1 million record, then I can raise the what I can raise the RAM capacity. Okay, the resource capacity I can raise. Then what happens? Oh, it will make 10 times faster. We have this functionality will be available in cloud platforms, especially in Azure. That's why they are going to the Azure or any AWS cloud-based platforms for processing ETL. Thus, reduce the man effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Clear?
got it. Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Okay. So any other question, guys? Okay, guys. From next week onwards, at the end of each class, we can give some kind of questions or some kind of assessment and some kind of assignment. Okay, on end of each class, it will be simpler one to evaluate our knowledge. We can we make that trend? If everything okay with that, please raise your hands, guys. Okay, I can see three guys raise their hand. Okay, we'll conduct this at tomorrow, starting of the class.
Okay.
Okay, guys. If there is no question, we can wind off. Thanks, sir.
Thank you for this
Thank you.
session. Thank
Thank
you.
you.